start. So this is the project title. So the project title is IPv4 energy meter using Bluemix Cloud Services. Okay, so in this project what we are going to do is in this project we are reading the register values from the IPv4 energy meter using the Modbus application. Okay, so now here is the Modbus application. So I am showing the Modbus application. This is the Modbus application. And it's already available on the internet. So what we have to modify over here is, so this is our, you can search and you can view this. Now in this Modbus application what exactly we are getting is here we are getting two int 16 values. So we want to convert it into the float 32. So for that we design this function, that is dhwq. Okay, and this function is written over here and it will print all the values, that is current, and we are interested in current and voltage value. Okay, so now let's run this code. Okay, so it is saved on this desktop, that is pranil1.c. now we'll run this. Okay, this is the for running. It's obviously we are using C compiler and cc pranil1.c -lm we are using because we use that functionality over here. Okay, so after that enter. Yes, it's successfully running. Now we want to run, it's compiled. Okay, so for running we want to give .a./a.out and IP address of the energy meter. Now this IP address of the energy meter you will get from the energy meter itself. Here we have to specify the ID, that is 255 every time, and then the register number. This is the register number. This 3035 it's for the voltage. Okay, now from where we got this is in below link it's available. Okay, now this will be given from the manufacturer, that is the Schneider Electronics, and these are the number of registers. Okay, if you hit enter it will show the result. Okay, now this is the TCP. So I am running the program once again. Okay, now here it's the program is in C, pranil.c. so I am running this. So pranil.c I am running. Now for output I'll run this. So now this is the output. So this is 3035 is a voltage value, and we are getting the voltage value, that is word 0 and word 1. These are in the before processing, that is a int 16 values, and after processing we got 153 point ... this is in the word. And same way we can execute for current also, that is 3009. Okay, now we will get the current value. Okay, fine, that's not the case. After that, so whatever we executed, that value will be storing into the text file. Okay, now this is the text file, that is in.txt. We got the value, that is the current value in milliamperes. Okay, so after that why we are creating this text file? Because we want to connect it to the Bluemix Cloud. Okay, afterwards, so close it. No. Okay, so this is all done with the local part, that is what we want, that is Modbus application to read the register values. Now we want to send this register value to the Bluemix Cloud. There are many steps. Okay, now we all done with the Modbus application. Now we are starting with the Raspberry Pi. Okay, now we have the Raspberry Pi, anywhere we will get in the market. Now what we have to do is we have to install the OS onto the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so these all are the steps to be followed to install the OS into the Raspberry Pi, and this all you will get in adafruit.com. Okay, so you can search, you will go through it. Okay, and follow all the steps. You will done with all this. Okay, so I'll be showing one of the document how it will look like. So these all are the changes you have to made, that is using whole screen. Okay, now you have to set up the Raspbian OS. Okay, and you have to follow all the steps. Okay, that's it. nothing to worry about it. Then after that we have to install the two things. First one is a putty and okay, putty, and next thing we have to install VNC server. First we have to install putty and we have to okay. So for Raspberry Pi we have to set static IP address. Now how we are going to set? For that we want VNC server first. Okay, I will explain VNC server. Okay, and okay, so we want putty first, and putty is, what is putty we will see now. So putty is used, we can install putty on any Windows operating system, and putty is used to start the VNC server. So we require putty. So putty you can install from anywhere. Okay, you just search putty, you will get putty. So okay, now how to start VNC server? Okay, you have to install VNC server first, then you have to start like VNC server, that is command is given over here, and this is a port or number of user, you can say 0123. Okay, you can use. Okay, after that you want to install the VNC server. Now I already have the setup VNC server. Okay, no okay, tight. Okay, now for installing a tight VNC server we required IP address
and the number of that server.
and number of that server. Okay, now this IP address is of
Raspberry.
okay, this is a IP address of Raspberry Pi, and you know that how to find the IP address of Raspberry Pi using ifconfig you can find. So now this is the IP address of Raspberry Pi :1. Same we have to specify whatever there in putty. Okay, after that you can connect. Okay, let it connect. Here you have to give the password, and password is Raspberry,
Raspberry Pi.
RASPBERRY
Why?
PI. Raspberry, it's a raspberry. Okay, it's a raspberry. Okay, I'll show you. RASPBERRY, this is the password. Okay, so now we open the VNC server. Now what is the exactly use of this VNC server is from remotely from any system you can manage your Raspberry Pi. Okay, and no need to connect every time to the projector and look into the changes of the IP addresses. Okay, now we set the static IP for this Raspberry Pi. Now what are the command to set the static IP? We'll see now. The command is you have to read one file, that is from /etc/ first you have to enter into the sudo nano, then /etc/network/interfaces. That's it. Okay, now here you will get all the configuration of your Raspberry Pi, that is the Ethernet port configuration. So here we have to make it as a static. Before it was a DHCP, means by default it will be the DHCP. Now static means anytime the IP address will be the fixed to your Raspberry Pi, and no need to connect to a projector and see the IP address every time. So here you will get that IP address. Net mask you can set it anything, and gateway we have to change. Okay, it will be the according to your network. Okay, so next exit. That's it. Now okay, the Bluemix part. Now first we have to register for the Bluemix, that is log into the Bluemix and create one app. Okay, these all are the dashboard, and you can select the US South region, and you can create one app. Okay, for every app you can add any service. So we have to add Internet of Things as a service. So that service you will get in the catalogs. You can hit the catalog and you will get Internet of Things. You can add this service. Okay, after that you can enter the launch button. There you will get Node-RED. Okay, so these all are the services of, this is the Internet of Things service for an app. So it's loading. What happened? Okay, we'll refresh it once. Okay,
Then launch.
yes, it came. Now we have to click on launch dashboard. Okay, if you click on launch dashboard, this tab will open. Okay, now here we have to register the devices. Okay, so initially it will be on this, so we have to go to devices, then we have to register your device. So you can hit on add device, then you can type here Raspberry. Okay, and any name you can give it to your device, and MAC address you have to get, you have to enter here, and you will get MAC address by using ifconfig, and you'll hit the continue. Okay, now you can give any device type over here. It is for example my device. Okay, now you can hit this. Okay, and this is the device ID we entered. Okay, now we can hit the continue. So let's see, this is step 2. Here you will get all the details of the authentication, that is authentication token, ID. Okay, these all things you have to save it somewhere, and you need it to paste over the configuration file in the Raspberry Pi. So copy the unique credentials mentioned here. Okay, and we are done with it. You can hit okay. You have to copy this all the information, that is credential, once into the text file, because it won't open afterwards, and it should be here. It is mentioned that is copy the unique credential into the device configuration file in your device configuration file. I'll show you. Okay, now we can see over here also. Okay, it's loading. Okay, here you have to go to Raspberry Pi. Okay, enter here, then it will go to the recipes. Now these are the how to prepare your device and how to connect it to the Plumix. All the steps you have to follow, that is the installer from GitHub, then all the step by step you should go, then service IoT status, service IoT stop, and sudo. Okay, now this is a quick start guide. Here you can enter your MAC address of your Raspberry Pi, and you can visualize your data. Okay, so whatever we saw now, it's all about quick start guide. That is that sample codes are already there in GitHub. We are running the same code to visualize our data. Now when you want to execute your own code, you have to go for a registered mode, that is connect register, and you have to follow the same steps. Okay, now you already saved that organization ID into the text files. Okay, you have to paste that all the things into, we have to stop first that IoT service, then open this file, that is configuration file, which is there in etc IoT sample Raspberry Pi. Okay, now here you have to keep all these details like this. It will look like this, and you have to save the using Ctrl X, and you can start the IoT process once again. Now
application with the service add.
Now now we want to add the one more service, that is Node-RED. Now why Node-RED is required is because you can design your own model like this, and you can execute the code very easily over here. Okay, so that you can design your own program also, but Node-RED it's very easy, so we are going for Node-RED. Now we can add the Node-RED service in catalog, it will be there. So hit the Node-RED starter. Okay, you will get the window like this. After that you can select your own space, enter here the app name, any, and it should be the unique obviously. Then after that you can hit the create. Okay, create. Now it will create the service.
So after adding the Node-RED service, this page will be open. So here we can see our application is still in staging phase. Now it started, it's running. Okay, then after adding this service, we have to follow some extra procedure. So first we have to start the command line interface. So this will be after downloading this thing, then install in your Windows. After installing, and download the starter code. Here you'll get some sample IoT application that will be seen in the Node-RED Flow Editor. So then give the path of that starter code. Before giving the path, extract that zip file, and that path has to be given in the command window. And after giving the path, then run these commands that has been given in this page. Follow entire the procedure. After following the entire procedure, then push the data. After pushing the data, go to your link that has been given in this page only.
There you have to come.
Okay. that URL has been created in the Node-RED, and that URL we have to enter. After entering, it will go to the Node-RED Flow Editor. Then after going to Node-RED Flow Editor, we have to install the same Node-RED in the device also in order to access it from the device. So go to this website, that is node-red.org. Here you will able to see what all procedure has to be followed. So this may take some more time, that is about 2 hours. So after installing all these packages, you will able to see like this. So after entering, but in order to access this Node-RED service on the Raspberry Pi, you have to enter the IP address of the Raspberry Pi colon the port number. In order to access the Node-RED, we are using 18880 port. So after entering these things, you are able to see the Node-RED. So there may in the first case there may not be the IBM IoT app that is required in order to access the particular device. That is, here we are using Raspberry Pi. So in order to get this device, we have to run the command, that is Node-RED npm Node-RED IoT app install. If you want to find it, go to the home, then you can Google it. After installing onto the Node-RED onto the Raspberry Pi, open the Node-RED onto the Raspberry Pi, and as well as open the Node-RED into the Bluemix. So this, as you can see in the link that as I have created earlier. So after opening that link, you'll able to see the Node-RED. So this is called as a palette. Here you can able to see the different nodes, like you can create your own flows according to your application. This is a Raspberry Pi side Node-RED. So here are different node, again different palette nodes. According to again your Node-RED, you can use the different flow. So here we have created one sample application. As earlier I have told, my colleague has told that using IPv4 meter, we are storing the values into the text file. So take the file node that is there in the palette. So this node we have to take, drag it. After dragging, enter the credential, that is we have to enter the file path, that is where we are storing our I average and the V average. So you can see in here I have already stored. So this is our text file where we are storing the code, and we are taking this data as a string. So select as a string and give the name. This name can be anything. So click on the OK. Then after entering OK, then take the IBM IoT app out. That is, from here we are sending the data from the device to the Node-RED part of the Bluemix, and there we are receiving this. So before going to the Node-RED part of the Bluemix, first we have to generate the API keys. So these API keys will be generated in the same IBM IoT services. When you go there, when you go there, you can see at the top, at the third column, there is API keys. In order to access this particular device to the particular application, we have to generate these API keys. So after generating the API keys, again you have to follow the same procedure. You have to save these credentials, because these are at once only these are generated. After generating these API keys, go to the Node-RED flow. Again select the authentication as a API key. Then go to the API key, click on the pencil icon, then enter the name. This name you have to give. Then after copy those credentials that has been generated in the API key, then paste the token and the key, then update these things. After updating, you have to use this output, device output. It can be a device command, like when you are sending some command like controlling the devices from the Node-RED, then you have to use the device command. The device event has to be used whenever like you are sending some event to the cloud. Okay, then this device type has to be given, that has been given at the time of adding the device. See, as we can see, I have given the Raspberry Pi. The same thing has to be given in the here also. Then this is the MAC address, then this is event type. This same has to be given on the other side also. Then the format is .txt. Then data you can give anything. Press on OK. Then this is a payload. This is as a like a debug node, you can say. So by entering this one, you are able to see here what has been happening in the Node-RED actual things. So now we'll go to the Bluemix part. So there we were sending the data into the app out. So exactly opposite thing we have to do. Now we have to take the IBM IoT app in. From here you are getting the data. This data is nothing but that I average and the V average values that we are getting from the IPv4 meter. This again, these values are stored into the cloud. Here is a one node of the cloud. As we have added the cloud and service that you can add from the dashboard by going the catalog, the same thing you have to follow. After adding the cloud and select the cloud and node, it is in the storage thing. So here it is cloud, and as you can see, then drag this icon, then drop it over here. Then after dropping, you can see here I already added, so I don't add it. So after clicking on the service, you can see final 12 is the my app, and I added the cloud and NoSQL service. So you are able to see it directly from here. So select this service, enter the name of the database where you will be storing the values. As you are inserting the values, select the operation as insert, and the data is our entire data is coming in the message payload. So we are storing the message payload into the database. So select OK, and after OK, then you have to deploy the application. After deploying, it will show the message that is it has been deployed successfully. So the entire our application is now ready. So as you can see, after clicking on the inject, the continuously data is generated. So I'll first delete the previous data. So here, see, here the data is generated. In the payload, the value is 297.7981. This is the average value that has been, we are getting it from the text file, we are sending from the IBM IoT app. Then this is received in the IBM IoT app in. So the same, the 297.7981 we have been receiving. Then this is stored into the cloud. So in order to see these values, go to the IoT cloud and in the cloud and service. After going there, you'll see the different database. Now I have created here so many database. The name which we have given there is IP meter 1. So open that one. Then these are the normal JSON format. After clicking on the any one of the JSON format, you are able to see the same value, 297.7981. So in this way, we have stored the value.
So thank you guys for having patience to watch this video, and this is a team from MIT, and these are all the teammates, project mates for this project. Okay, first one is Pranil Chilidar.
Hello there, it's Samar Kate from MIT Manipal again.
I am Navakishore and Bhargav Reddy.
Okay, now all the emails are mentioned over here. Okay, you can send the emails, you can discuss your query at any time, and we are looking forward for your responses.